All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It is another match preview. Really difficult to keep up with all of these matches that are happening so thick and fast, but let's enjoy it, of course. In about a couple of more matches, obviously after Juventus and Southampton, it's the horrible international break. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. Look, blockbuster match coming up in the Champions League for Chelsea. As you can see, Juventus versus Chelsea is the next one in this particular group. Let's get straight into this. We'll talk about. Let's have a quick look at the table. In the first game week, Juventus obviously won against Malmo. Good goal difference, 3-0 victory against them. So they're on top. But we won as well. That wasn't the greatest game against Zenit, but we ended up getting that clutch victory, which was all that was needed, to be honest. Great goal from Romelu Lukaku from that header. Really good cross from Azpilicueta. So 3 points for us as well. But the goal difference obviously is the difference maker here between the two teams, Chelsea and Juventus. And now these two teams face each other in Turin in Allianz Stadium, I believe that's what it's called. And I'm really looking forward to this game. And I hope we can forget that performance against Man City and really get back to the way we play, because that was the first time under Man City against Man City under Thomas Tuchel where I felt that, wow, that's not our identity. That's not how we play. So deep, just defending, no attacking prowess as well. Build up was absolutely scrambled, no press, and there was no link up from defense to midfield to attack at all. We were just so boxed in. So I really hope to see for the first time under Thomas Tuchel how we bounce back from this particular scenario. Let's get straight into the injury front of things. This is what's going on at the moment. The Chelsea injury news. Kante, ladies and gentlemen, is out, looks like, for this particular fixture and for the Southampton. It's been confirmed by Thomas Tuchel that he won't feature. He's got the illness. He's struck by the disease that's gone around in this pandemic. And we wish him all the best for a quick recovery. Look, there's not much you can say about that. At the end of the day, it's not an injury. It's an illness, and it can happen to anyone. I just hope and pray that he recovers well and comes back soon. And this means that there's going to be some opportunities. We've been talking about Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and we'll do the squad sort of formation, the lineup, Chelsea predicted lineup. And I feel like Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a very good shout. And on top of that, Mason Mount is also ruled out for this particular game. Thomas Tuchel said in the last game that he was probably going to make it to the City game had it been just a day later, but looks like this minor injury is a little bit more than minor. So he's missing out on this game, which is also a big miss. Mason Mount missing out on this particular match, who I was thinking was going to come back, lead the press from the front, really give us that impetus to win the ball up front and really box Juventus in. But looks like that energy, that engine of Mason Mount is not going to be there, and he's going to miss out the game as well, hoping that he comes back against Southampton. But it may well be that he might just miss out this week and just get a bit of rest. He's been playing so much football, and this is the thing. We forget the fact that age is not the concern. The concern is how much mileage is a particular player doing. That's where the biggest concern is. But hoping that Mason Mount can just recover, rest up, come back. I would love to see him against Southampton, but if it's not that, I don't mind if he rests that out as well. I just need this player to be back 100%. And I'm just worried the amount of football he plays, not just for Chelsea, but also for England as well. Every international break he goes out there and he plays for England almost every single game, 90 minutes as well. So for a young player, that's just a lot of football that he's racked up already. Reece James, ladies and gentlemen, is a concern. He's definitely not playing. There's no particular date as to when he's going to be back, but Thomas Tuchel said that it is still hurting Reece James a lot. The pain barrier is still there. And that's what it comes down to, apparently. How much pain can he handle? Can he feature in the match? So he's definitely not featuring for this particular match against Juventus, which now throws a spanner in the right wing back spot, which obviously when we talk about the Chelsea predicted lineup, it's going to get interesting as to what's going to happen in the future. I wouldn't risk him against Southampton either, to be honest. I just want him to rest up, get well. He'll have the international break to relax as well and get better, make that ankle much stronger and not have that pain. And hopefully after the international break, he can come back into training and ease in. So we've got concerns. Kante not here, Mount not here, Reece James not here, and Pulisic, as we all know. I expected this when they first said 10 days. A couple of weeks back, I knew he wasn't probably going to feature this entire sort of footballing period until the next international break. I just had a feeling that this player just gets injured so much, and it is a concern. How do we make sure that he doesn't get injured? How do we keep him fit on a regular basis so he can actually feature for us? We kind of need those sort of qualities. No one's ever doubted Pulisic's quality. It's the fact that he's not available, and that's the concern. So that's a lot about Chelsea's injury front. It is racking up, as you can see. Quite a lot of players are getting injured. Obviously, Kante being ill. So this is why you need a deep squad, and thankfully we've got players that we can rely on, and we can still look good. From Juventus' point of view, Juventus actually have quite a few players out as well. I've touched on this yesterday in the Chelsea news segment. Dybala is out, Alvaro Morata is out, and there's also some late news about Aaron Ramsey being unavailable as well with some muscle injury. So they're out with some notable players as well, big players in terms of Dybala and Morata for them, and Aaron Ramsey. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match away from home at Juventus with all of their players gone, and we'll definitely look into their squad and what we can expect. So let's move straight into that Juventus and Chelsea form guide. Let's have a look into this. So this is what Juventus has been up to in recent times. They didn't start the season that well. As you can see, from 1st August, they had a loss. They won against Monza. I think that was pre-season. And then their first game against Atalanta, they won. Udinese, they had a draw. Empoli, they lost. Napoli, they lost as well. And then after the Napoli game, this is where things started to sort of click a little bit, but they've been leaking goals. Against Malmo, as we've already mentioned, 3-0, they've smashed Malmo. I think Malmo is going to be the whipping boys in this particular group. Juventus and Milan was 1-1 at home. You'd think Juve might get that edge, but Milan's looking strong, obviously, this season. Juventus then had a win against Spezia 3-2, and they've also beaten Sampdoria 3-2. So they're finding some winning sort of form in recent times, but they are leaking goals. If we look at that game against Spezia, Moise Kean scored, Federico Chiesa and Matthias de Ligt, two players that we're linked with at the moment. I mean, I don't know how much of it is true, but Federico Chiesa is a phenomenal player. What a Euros he had for Italy as well, one of their main players. And Matthias de Ligt in recent times been linked with us for the upcoming next season summer window. Let's see what happens there. But yeah, 3 goals from Juventus there against Sampdoria as well. 3 goals. They've led in 2. Paulo Dybala scored, Leonardo Bonucci, Manuel Locatelli. Let's have a look at their squad now. This is the lineup they had in recent times. Paulo Dybala, Alvaro Morata, as we said, they're going to be out. They're injured. Federico Chiesa, top player. Manuel Locatelli, we've seen what his quality was for Italy. So he's made the, swap from, I believe, Sassuolo to Juventus. Betancourt is a very good player. Federico Bernardeschi is not bad either in the wings. Alexandra, we were once upon a time linked with him. I'm not really sure how much of a great sort of left back he is at the moment. But Leonardo Bonucci and Chiellini, they're 2 defenders who were so supreme for Italy in Euros, and they've just been supreme for in Juventus for a very, very long time. Obviously, Matthias de Ligt played here. Cuadrado in right back is a very handy player. Perrin, I don't know too much about that goalkeeper, but if you look at their substitutions as well, Giorgio Chiellini, there you go. I don't know whether Chiellini or De Ligt will start. I'm thinking it'll probably be Chiellini and Bonucci because it's just a rock solid defense that's going to be so difficult for us to break. But I'm hoping we can do the trick. Aaron Ramsey, Moise Kean will come in, and this particular player, Kulusevski, who's also an up and coming superstar for them. So they have a very good team. We should not be taking them lightly one bit just because of the fact that Dybala and Alvaro Morata is not going to be there, and possibly Aaron Ramsey. They've got enough talent to do the damage. As I said, Chiesa, Locatelli, Bentancur, Bernardeschi. In the back, they'll have Bonucci, most likely Chiellini. If not, Matthias de Ligt is very good as well. Cuadrado, Alessandro, and their bench looks pretty immense. So, yeah, it looks like they're slowly coming into some sort of winning formula. As I said, in the last 4 matches, 3 wins and a draw. So it's looking decent. Let's now look at our Chelsea's form guide. This is what it looks like. Of course, that loss against Man City, that hurts so much. But prior to that, I must say, we haven't been playing good, but we've been winning. 3-0 against Aston Villa, which was far from perfect. But at the end of the day, we got the win in the Premier League. Honestly, Aston Villa could have been at least 2-0 up at halftime. Chelsea's Zenit, as we've mentioned, we've won 1-0. Against Spurs, we beat them 3-0. But first half was all Spurs, in all honesty. In the Carabao Cup, we ended up winning in penalties 4-3. But once again, I think Aston Villa probably deserved to win. And then we've got the humbling against Man City. So it's tough to say what kind of sort of mentality we're moving in. I feel I'm scared a little bit to the fact that the humbling that we took against Man City, I hope we can remove that. I really, really hope we can remove that out of our system. But I'm also concerned the fact that we haven't really played well this whole season yet. I can't remember a particular game where we played 100% well. I know that Crystal Palace game, we beat 3-0 Crystal Palace, but I still think we had about 2-3 gears that we could have gone above the top. And I don't think so far, if I look at all of our games, even if I scroll back, Villarreal, I don't think we were the better team. Villarreal were very strong in the second half. Since Ziyech got injured in that particular match, Villarreal was on top, and we ended up getting the win in the penalties. Palace, we did smash them, but once again, I think we could have gotten a few more gears forward. Arsenal, we did very well, but I thought once again we could have had another 2-3 gears that we could have smashed them. Liverpool, we were looking okay before the red card, but then obviously, with the red card, the game changed. We ended up getting a draw, which was, I love the fact that we played so well in defense. That's what excited me a lot in that particular game, that with a man down, we did not allow Liverpool anything. And then as I said, after that, it was not something that I can say, yeah, that's one performance that we absolutely annihilated the opposition. So moving into this game, I hope that we can put on a bit of a show against Juventus and really start waking up. Our inside forwards, our attacking players, which we'll touch on in the lineup, they really need to start waking up and getting into the gears for this particular season. That's what I'm hoping. Okay, let's get into the lineup now. This is where things are going to get very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you enjoy a lot. And yeah, there's going to be some interesting inclusion. Let's see what you guys have to say. Before we do that, smash the like button while you're there. Please smash the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And yeah, follow me on all my socials, especially the Instagram. I would love to build a bit of a following in Instagram. Okay, let's get straight into this. The lineup that I would prefer, and we'll mix things up a little bit as well. What other alternatives there could be. I think this is undoubtedly Mendy. There's nothing against Kepa. Kepa has been great, but I definitely want my number one goalkeeper to start. In defense, Rudy is straight away is one of the first people in. No doubt about that. One of the best defenders going around at the moment. In defense, I do want Thiago Silva, and I'm not really sure exactly how he is in terms of being fit, because Thomas Tuchel said that he wasn't really fit against Man City. But at the end of the day, he did play against Man City, and I do want him to start. I want the strongest defense against Juventus. We should not take this game lightly. It is the blockbuster game in the Champions League group stage for us in this group. And if we can get a positive result here, this will go a long way for us to come first in this group, which is very important. In the RCB, I'd play AC and I would play Azpilicueta here, all because Reece James is injured. And I can't picture how Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to play, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't understand why we've kept him around. I mean, surely it's not just for the League Cups and the FA Cups. In the Premier League, he's not going to get an opportunity, and I don't think he's going to get an opportunity in the Champions League, especially in a high caliber game like this against Juventus. I highly doubt he's going to get an opportunity. We possibly could have gone with Azpilicueta as the RCB, Callum Hudson-Odoi as the right wing back, and possibly Andres Christensen as the middle CB. But I just can't picture that happening. I don't think Callum Hudson-Odoi has grasped that right wing back position that well yet. So I don't picture this happening. So I'd be very surprised if it's any different than this particular lineup. So I'm going with Andres Christensen and Azpilicueta in the right wing back. In the left wing back, oh man, this is where it gets even more tricky. Alonso or Chilwell. I think it's time. I feel like Alonso had such a defensive game against Man City. He had to do so much hard work. And I'm not having any go against Alonso. He's been very good so far this season, but I need to start seeing Chilwell. He was our number one left wing back last season. Champions League winner, very instrumental under Thomas Tuchel latter parts of last season. I need him back, and I need him to start performing, and I want to see him back into this starting 11. And it's not like he's a poor player defensively. He's very solid. Going forward, he's not as industrious as Alonso, but he's no mug either, let's be honest. So I do want to start seeing him back in this lineup and start getting a roll on. So that would be my left wing back. In the middle, this is where it gets quite gets a bit confusing, because look, Jorginho will start. I mean, the way we play, it definitely needs Jorginho, and he's already featured in the press conference. So you essentially know whoever features in the press conference generally starts, and him, going back to Italy, especially playing against some of his teammates, may know a thing or two. So and as I said, our system is so reliant on the way Jorginho sort of marshals these area in build up, in even just maintaining the structure off the ball. It's very, very crucial. Just recycling possession, keeping that tempo is so important. This is what I would go with. Here is where I have a bit of a... I want to give Ruben Loftus-Cheek an opportunity here, but at the same time, how do you drop Kovacic, who's been very good for us this season? I could possibly even use Ruben Loftus-Cheek here and turn that into a sort of 3-5-2. But that formation, it does need, this particular player to link up with the attackers, and it does need wing backs to bomb up and link up with the attackers. We didn't see that against Man City. And I don't want to give up on this formation. I still believe in it, and I don't want to give up on it after just one game. I don't have so much confidence on all the other players, Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Havertz. They've not been that good, and I don't want to throw them into this game and expect that they're going to just, do a miracle for us. I do want to include Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's been playing well. So that's why I may just change the formation up and do this, where Ruben might act as, a player in midfield, but more box to box. I'm going to play with Ruben Loftus-Cheek here, and I'm going to play with Kovacic here, and give us that impetus in midfield. I think with Ruben, we've got a lot of physicality, robust, excellent in ball control, barely gets dispossessed, good passer of the ball. Kovacic, press resistant, very good driver of the ball, good dribble of the ball, and this gives me a good balance right here. Jorginho, Kovacic, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek in midfield gives me an excellent balance. And as I said, I don't want to give up on that Timo Werner and Lukaku up front because I feel this can work. And, it's just a sad situation against City. It didn't work because they were isolated. There wasn't any support from our wing backs, our midfielders to those attacking players. So don't want to give up on this. And in all honesty, I simply don't have any faith at the moment. And as much as I love Ziyech, I don't have that faith at the moment to start him. He can come off the bench, be an impact player. But at the moment, Timo Werner he himself hasn't shown much, to be honest, but at least he's shown a little bit more than Havertz and Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech. Obviously, we've got players injured, so we can't really talk about them at the moment. But I feel like Werner and Lukaku, they complement each other. They can do well together. Lukaku needs that player that can be free around him and open up the space. And Timo Werner is that perfect player. And if we can have Ruben Loftus-Cheek linking up play from midfield and attack and really help these players out up front, and then we can have Azpilicueta and Chilwell sort of join the party, then things will be different. And then every now and then, if Kovacic as well can add in those passing quality to help out the attack with Chilwell, Aspi, Werner, and Lukaku, things will be very different from the match that we played against City. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a lineup that I would go with. Mendy in goalkeeping position, Rudy, Silva, Andres Christensen to wrap up the three at the back, Aspi as the right wing back, Chilwell as the left wing back, Kovacic, Jorginho, Ruben Loftus-Cheek to be the midfield trio, but Ruben playing ahead of the other two, Kova and Jorginho more in the pivot sort of role, and Ruben will come into midfield, but more as a box-to-box sort of player to link up play with Werner and Lukaku, and he deserves it, to be honest. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, fantastic game against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup, and a really, really impressive appearance against Man City off the bench, who showed that's exactly how we needed to play against Man City. And I'm really wanting to see what sort of impact he's going to have with players like Werner and Lukaku up front. It just really, really excites me a lot. So up front, Werner and Lukaku, and that wraps up my starting 11, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you change anything up. I like this lineup against Juventus, who've got injury issues. We've got injury issues. I'm hoping really for a 2-0 victory. I think our defense is strong enough to maintain a clean sheet against Juventus, who's got Dybala and Morata out injured, and Ramsey as well, possibly. So I'm confident. I really need to see how our team bounces back against Man City. I don't want to see that same performance where we looked a bit shell-shocked and a bit scared against City. So this is my lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hope you've enjoyed this preview. Can't wait for the match, to be honest. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about this match coming up in the comment section below. Do smash the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And hope to all see you tomorrow post-match. We'll see if we do a watch-along or not, but we definitely will be live streaming for the review. Until next time, everyone, take care and see you.